You may be ready to buy a new home but just aren't sure where to start. A great starting point is with an exclusive buyer's agent who acts as an advocate for you during the entire home buying process. Today we're going to speak with Kathleen Bayles with Just for Buyers Realty about the advantages of having a superhero on your side. So we are in River Lights, one of the new up-and-coming communities where people are considering home purchases in Wilmington. Kathleen joins us. Hello, Kathleen.
Hello, Scott.
So define an exclusive buyer's agent for me.
Yes, I would love to. So for the majority of people, when you think of real estate agents, most people think that except for personality and work ethic, that they're all pretty much the same. And to a certain degree, that's true. But there are a very small portion of agents, less than 2%, who operate as exclusive buyer's agents. And it has to do with business model.
Okay.
So exclusive buyer's agents work for companies that do not take any listings. Therefore, they are never obligated in any way to sellers. And when you think about that, the listing agent who is working on behalf of the seller's best half is obligated to get them the best deal possible. So when you're working with a buyer's agent, you're working with someone who is obligated to get the buyer the best deal possible. And it's important for a buyer to recognize that if you're going to the person whose obligation is to the seller, how is that going to work in your best interest?
So what do you see as the biggest benefit for the buyer to use an exclusive buyer's agent?
The biggest benefit is you go into the biggest transaction, most expensive transaction of your life, knowing that the agent who's working with you is 100% behind you. They completely have your back. It's different than if you are going to the listing agent whose obligation is to the seller to get the best price and best terms. To have them representing you as the buyer, there's a question about how do they do that. I use the analogy, if instead of buying a house, you were going to the Super Bowl, would you use the same coach as the other team? How is that going to get both of you to that winning spot?
Yes, absolutely. So for many people buying a home, you may not consider all of the many aspects that go in that process. It's not just sitting down and cutting a check.
No, it's not. In fact, most people go under contract and they think, I've bought a house.
Yes.
But really, the most important part of the process is from contract to closing. And really, that's where your exclusive buyer's agent earns their money, because this is where things are most likely to go wrong. And it's where you need the most protection and where you need the most information. For instance, have you connected with the right lender? And not that agents are licensed to practice finance, but a good agent understands what the different programs are, who offers them, and can connect you with somebody who could save you thousands of dollars over the life of your loan, tens of thousands of dollars.
Sure.
Also, which attorney can be trusted to make sure that the title work is all done correctly. Is your home in a flood zone? You want an agent who knows how to find that on a flood map. Is your inspector going to be one who just doesn't mess up deals, or is it someone who's really going to ferret out all the problems with your home?
Yeah, absolutely. And that home inspection process can be overwhelming for somebody who has not bought many homes in their past. That's where an exclusive buyer's agent can walk you through and help explain some of the things, work as a mediator between you and the home inspector to understand.
Yes, absolutely. And as a little bit of an aside there, it's not just people who haven't been through the process recently. A lot of people moving here are moving from other states. And North Carolina real estate works much differently than it does in most of our neighboring states, and particularly from the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic states. And it's important to have an agent who understands that your expectations from there are going to be different than what you have here. But getting back to the inspector portion of that, it's your agent can really help you connect with someone who is properly licensed, who has the experience of being able to not only delve into all of the nooks and crannies, because you want an inspector that's going to go into the crawl space, who's going to go into the attic space. But when they come out and give you that 39-page report, you think, oh my God.
Yes.
You want an inspector who can walk you through that and let you know these are the things that you really need to be concerned about, because there's no way for us to tell how expensive it's going to be. Or here are the things that you can fix with a $10 part from Home Depot.
Yeah, exactly. One other key point we should bring about is how an exclusive buyer's agent gets paid in this process. They don't necessarily charge the buyer.
That's correct. We are compensated the same way any traditional agent is compensated, and that is that the listing company generally pays the buyer's agent fee, and that's regardless of whether it's an exclusive buyer's agent or just a regular buyer's agent. So our services are free to buyers, and if you're going to get that level of protection that by our business model other agents aren't able to offer, the question is, why not?
Absolutely. If you'd like to learn more about the home buying process or have one of the Just for Buyers Realty agents assist you in finding your dream property, visit justforbuyers.realty.com.